Today we're going to be talking, Mother's Day's coming up.
Yep.
And we share an experience about our mothers, and so that is what we're going to be talking about today. Today is our mother's episode.
Yeah.
Oh, and when we decided, when Dr. Dangerfield was like, hey, I don't know.
I was like, I don't know if this would be a good topic, but I think it'll be a good topic. What you think?
We're going to talk about moms. I said, okay. It's a good topic. I said, but you know, there's so many ways you could go about this. When I worked in addiction treatment, we did a whole mothers group, and it was just kind of going into, you know, needing to be mother, not being mother, things of that sort. I said, are we talking the good, bad, the ugly? Like, what direction you want to go with this, Dr. Dangerfield? Because this could go a myriad of ways. And she said,
I said, let's talk about our own experience with the loss of losing our moms. You're further into that journey than I am, and I was like, I think this would be a good topic to share, and then like, because there's so many other women, men, all that have experienced it.
So she pretty much said we're doing a mother's grief and loss session.
That's what,
I'm just kidding.
That's basically, and I didn't want to put that in because I was like, we gonna just take it as it comes today.
No, I think this is amazing because I see a lot of clients, I'm sure you do, who have lost their mothers myriad different ways. And so with Mother's Day, it's always a really hard time of the year for them. And some who are even estranged from their mothers, like, you know, that is still lost.
The loss of that relationship.
Yes. And so I thought that was a great angle for us to take today and to talk about it. And so, as many of you might remember, if you don't, check out our first season. My mother passed away in July of 2019. It was, you know, we thought we had time. You know, that part is what throws you off.
Yes.
That's the part that throws you off.
Time.
You think you have time. And so my mother was a cancer survivor. And so cancer had maybe a 3-time cancer survivor, like started when she was 50, and then it kind of went away for some long time. Then she had a little bout with it and went away. So then she started, she had early onset dementia. So then that started to kick in, which now you look back with the spirit of gratitude because she left here still knowing who we were. And so that was important. And so the biggest part I tell people, like, I still struggle with, I am the youngest of 4.
Okay.
And so they got opportunities with her that I just won't get, right? My kids won't get. I just said this morning, man, we want to do something. I'm like, I could fly my mom in for a couple weeks to watch the kids, you know, and don't have that. And so there's just, you know, people are like, I don't know if you ever get to a place where you're just like, oh, you know, like, I think every day something comes up, something reminds you. So this July will be 4 years, which is nuts. And it feels like year 1. Last year was probably my hardest year, but this year, I'm just like, I can't believe we're at a 4-year mark with her not being here. And so when we found out she was not well, she was in the hospital, but they were like, she was coming home. I hate those, right? Like, she gonna be coming home. I was like, okay.
And you anticipate her coming
Yes,
home.
and then it took a turn, and then we still were kind of like, I think because she had been such a survivor, right? We look at our mothers and the things that they have overcome, the things that they have been through, and their resiliency to always bounce back, that when they're unable to do that, it's shocking. It's like, you have to catch your breath. Like, not you. You are the strongest person I know. You're telling me that you're tired, that you're giving up, that you want to go to the great by and by. Wait a minute. Hold on, sis.
That is not part of
That is not part of that. And so literally, when we got the call that things were not good, literally it was 24 hours between like kind of getting that call and getting there when we maybe 30, when we lost her. And so it was, I think the speed in which that part happened, I think it didn't, at some point we got to talk about these funerals being so soon after somebody passes away, but doesn't really give you time to process any of those emotions. And so you're left with this big crescendo, right? Everybody's there. Everybody comes. Everybody's checking on you to this decrescendo where like nobody calls you. And you're kind of, or not nobody, right? But they're less.
Yes.
And so then you're left with kind of trying to figure yourself out and those emotions and feelings out, and understanding that some of those odd behaviors that show up are grief.
Yeah.
Like, what am I doing? And then you look, oh, that's my grief.
That's grief. Yeah.
That shows up. So, and then I say that like, oh, so girl, year 4, has it gotten better? Yes. Does it still hurt? Of course. And does it still show up? Of course. So if you're out there and you're like, why am I still, you're not alone.
Yeah.
You're normal.
Yeah.
If you don't feel normal, you're normal. So what about you? This is new for you.
This is very new for me. Because this Mother's Day will be my first Mother's Day without my mom. We lost my mom on in February, and actually it came out of nowhere. My mom was doing well, and I found her unresponsive. But the blessing in it is the day that I found her unresponsive is not her death date. And so as I was listening to you talk, it was like, because you was like, with the funeral being, why does the funeral have to be so soon? And so with me and my siblings, because the day I found her was not the day that she passed away, it gave some space in between. Because my sisters and I, we talked, we said if it had all happened on January the 27th, we probably wouldn't be in the place that we are today.
I get that. That makes sense. I get that.
Yeah, we would not have been, because most definitely was not prepared for it. Like you said, I always think that, they're always going to be here, that regardless of what's happening, they're going to bounce back. Because my mom was one person where she had a stroke some years ago. She bounced back from that. She had a kidney transplant. Bounced back from that. So this one was like, oh, surely she gonna wake up, she gonna bounce back from this, and things are gonna be. And when we realized that it wasn't, and that she was tired, because she started letting us know she was tired, I was like, oh, okay, lady, if it's what you want to do,
I guess
okay. And for us too, we had to make some decisions
That's true.
about quality of life and what would she want, and knowing her well enough, there were certain things that she wouldn't want to have done. But just kind of thinking about that, and then going through these first experiences. So like something for myself and my siblings, it's like Easter was different, and then like my sister and I, we took a trip to St. Louis. It was our first trip without having to pack my mom's stuff up to put in the car, asking her for what her snacks, what snacks you want, lady? Is she back asleep yet? We haven't even got out of Nashville. Those things. So it was like, oh, that was weird. Because both of us, we were like, this is kind of weird.
It's different.
And then even thinking about, how are we gonna spend Mother's Day this year? It's like, do we want to? No, I don't think we want to go to a restaurant. So what are we gonna do? And so it's just those like first things. And my sister, she turns 50 in June.
Okay.
And we had planned a vacation. My mom was supposed to be my roommate. And so it was like, and people asked, well, y'all still going? My sister was like, oh yeah, we going because one, she said, I don't want my mom to come back in come back in
Sound like your sister.
dreams.
What she say?
She said, I don't want to come back in my dreams. I'm like, girl, what you doing? Because
Yes.
you supposed to go because we wanted her to experience the Dominican, like we had a few years ago. Because myself and my two siblings, we've been there, and we always would talk about how beautiful it was. So we wanted her to experience it. And so now going back, we're going, and she's still not going to get to experience it with us, like tangibly, physically, but in spirit. But it's just those things. And so, and then for us, I don't know if you ever experienced it where when the way you grieve, people question if you don't grieve like they think.
Of course. Of course. Of course. Of course.
They don't think you're grieving.
Right.
Because one of my cousins said it, she said it so honestly to us one day. She said, some people don't think you're grieving hard enough. And
like, we're gonna be rolling around all on the floor.
And I looked at her and I was like, you're the truth. I said, you just spoke the truth. I said, because people do question us at times, or if they see us going to concerts or doing certain things, people say, or people impose their grief.
Now that was big in our family.
Imposing how they grieve.
That was huge.
And it's like, you're like, but that was never us. Our family, we grieve, in like I say, like we grieve from a space of gratitude. Thank you for allowing us to have that person or that experience. And I think I've mentioned before, usually we throw some type of celebratory family dinner or just a get together after the services. Like after we done went through the service and went to the graveyard, we go back to somebody's house and just kind of get together as family. That's our way of celebrating the life of the person. And so people, like they don't get to see that piece, so they don't know, and so they impose how they feel or how they would have felt, and it's been interesting. So I know people are looking at. People are looking to say, like, how y'all gonna get through Mother's Day? It's like, and it'd be more private.
Exactly.
Amongst the, us three girls.
Yes, definitely. Yeah. It's two things I thought of. One, I thought family. I think the hardest part, and I don't know if this is experience for you, these two things are probably the hardest part. Is one, when you lose your matriarch like that, or lose anyone in a family dynamic, right? Yeah. It shifts, right? So now everybody's trying to figure out their new role because you've lost the person who kind of dictated, the puppeteer.
Was the person that was the glue.
Right.
That was holding things together.
Exactly. Yeah. And so I think we had to figure out it's four of us in total. And so, and then I have my dad, who is my stepdad, but he's my dad. We all kind of, and then there's all like 15, 16 grandkids. See, like it's a lot of people. And so we all kind of had to figure out identity with her being gone. Yes. Like, who am I in the absence of her? Yeah. And I think we all are still trying to figure it out. Who's
taking what role?
Who's taking what role? And I think sometimes it makes us kind of bicker with each other a bit because even like my uncles and aunts, like I think everybody's like trying to figure out who am I now? Yeah. If I was the fourth and you were the third and now the third is gone.
Yeah, where's my position?
Oh Lord, where I fall down, and I don't know if you all experience that, but I see it kind of happening amongst us as even in year 4, I think we're still trying to figure it out. Yeah. And so that has been, as a family unit, something interesting. And even me, like being the youngest, I've always kind of just had this specific role in our family. And so, which she created. And so now it's kind of like, oh man, like who am I without her? I'm her baby, right? Like I'm her baby.
You will always be.
And so it's like that part. And I think and I don't know about you, and so this is the part I think is really interesting, and I don't know if anybody out in the BGB community feels this too. It's hard being the strong friend and grief. I don't know if you all are experiencing that, but it is the one who no one expects to be sad.
Yeah.
to be hurt,
Yeah.
to isolate, and it's not even isolating in a sense of like, I don't want anything to do with you.
But
it's just kind of like, I need
some quiet time.
yes, and the strong friend in the sense of, but then I do want you to still check on me.
Yeah.
I still want you to be present.
Yes.
Like, you don't have to cower away from me either.
Yeah, check in.
Check in.
Yeah.
And so sometimes you might want to call me and have a mother conversation. Don't call me talking about your mama. Because some days I can ask me.
Which says some days I can do it.
Right.
Other days it's like, you know what, I really don't want to get back.
I don't want to hear about your mama who walking around here on earth. God bless her.
And you know, and I'll tell you, and Patience knows my middle sister.
I do.
Vida. She is like, Vida is probably one of the most direct, like, she'll say things that like, and she says, like, she said, people always ask, what is it that they can do for me? She said, and when I say, it's really nothing you can do, she said, they'll be like, oh, what can I do? She said, and what I want to say is, can you bring my mama back?
Hello.
She said, and I think if I say that, she said, people gonna take it some kind of way and be mad at me. She said, but that's what I want.
That's what I want.
She said, but like you said, the strong, like when you've been a strong friend, and you know, people will, they're like,
They're assuming you're okay.
Yeah, they're like, they'll be like, can I say something?
Mm-hmm.
It's like, yes, you know, for me, I'm the type of person, I'm like, say it, if I don't want to hear it, I'll tell you, like, today, not today.
Mm-hmm.
Not today to listen. But I have found that I like when people share, like, in their honesty, like they say, I really miss blah, blah, blah. Because even I have a little cousin, he just turned 5. And he told his mom, it was like after his birthday party. Now, my sister and I went to his birthday party, bought him a real cool gift. But him and his mom went to dinner, and he looked at his mom and he said, you know what, mama? He said, if Aunt Ann was here, I know she would have bought me a really cool gift for my birthday.
Aw.
I really miss her.
Aw.
And my cousin, she was like, yeah. And she said, I was like, oh my God. She said, I was like, Bub, I miss her too.
Mm-hmm.
He said, but I really miss her.
Because she was a part of his life. Little people feel too.
She was at his birthday. She was at every one of his birthday parties.
Yes.
And she did.
Yes.
I always get him some gift, because she would ask him.
Yes.
Like, what is it you want for your birthday this year,
Mm-hmm.
Logan? And he'll be like, Ann, I think I want blah, blah. I like this. And she'll say, okay, now she didn't go get the gift. Then Vida is going to have to be the one purchasing.
Mm-hmm.
And probably was still, my mom would be like, well, that's what he said. I'm going to get him. We like, well, what we supposed to do?
Mm-hmm. Yes, she took over.
Yeah, but she's like, this is my gift.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's just like those moments.
Those are helpful.
Yeah.
They are. And I think like it's this idea, and this is probably the biggest part I'm working on. And so if you're working on this, feel connection with me, or, you're not alone. It's kind of like, I am not who I was since July 9th. Like,
no.
And so whoever you thought you knew,
she not there.
Grieve her, because she gone.
She gone.
I am a different person.
Mm-hmm.
And so sometimes what you call me with or want to talk to me about, except if in a therapeutic session, of course, but like,
oh yeah, therapy's different.
It's like, I can't even show up for you that way, because what sounds grandiose to like this huge thing to you, I'm kind of like,
that's not major. I be like, that's not major.
I see the world
so
different. Like, because a part of me, right? Like, I remember saying that when my 2 friends were in the hospital with me, because they came as soon as they knew I landed in Detroit. They were like, I kept saying, how did we get here? Because it was so fast.
Yeah.
And I was just like, how did we get here? Like, I was in such disbelief. I think that's the moment I disconnected from it all. And that is why I'm in therapy now. But I was like, boom, like no. And so
this is not happening.
Exactly. And I think part of it, like in the moment then, like the magnitude of anything else is like, but have you lost your mama? Because like, that's a big deal, It is. And so I'm trying to be a little bit better about understanding that everybody isn't in that place with me. It's still showing up as authentic as I can with them in that moment. But I am like, but I lost my mama, right? Like that's big. And so it is, I think the biggest thing has been helpful for me is like therapy.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah. If I hadn't had my therapist then, my therapist, she was on that journey with I think it happened on a Friday. I was talking to my therapist probably then by Monday or Tuesday, and I was like, hey, I need to talk. And so she was, she was like, okay, let's plan out some sessions, cause let's do weekly, and then if you need something in between the weekly, reach out if I have some availability. So yeah, it was good to be able to have a person that was not in it to be there.
I agree. Yes. And I think community has been beautiful.
Yes,
like friends who just love and support you. Who I have one friend, she is the sweetest thing, and she'll just call around and be like, I haven't asked you how you're doing about your mom. How are you? I'm like, oh my gosh, literally we're in year 4. And she still does that because she cares enough to, right? And so that is the community of people who surround you. Helps.
Sure and makes if you, and for me, I think too is if you don't have it and need it, ask. Be willing to be, because it's a point of vulnerability. It's ask your friends. If you're really, and I tell my clients this too. I was like, if you need a hug, ask somebody.
It's okay.
Ask, be like, hey, right now I'm really needing a hug. Or if you know somebody within your family structure, a friend, a friend's mom that was real, that you feel and if you say, hey, miss such and such, I'm missing my mom today. Can you just give me a hug?
Yes.
Hug on me for, just love on me. I'm needing that.
I need that. And we're blessed to have siblings.
Yes.
That has been, for you who are maybe only an only child going through that, you still have community, you still have family, might be family. They're friends who you have chosen to be family to you. But and use them. But having my siblings, even though we can get into it over crazy stuff, the connection with them, it has really been beneficial to my journey of grief, and really helping me. We can just text each other. Somebody will send a picture of my mom, or somebody will just be missing mama or something like that, and we can all just kind of get in there together and support each other and love on each other. And so that's been a blessing. Having those siblings and not having to go through it alone has been really good for me too.
Because I tell my sisters that all the time. So I'm glad y'all are the ones that I have to go through this with, because my in our I tell you, I talk about Vida is the one. Vida is your mama bear. She gonna go for it. Melissa is the baby. She's more the emotional. So she's a text. She texts. She's I'm asking y'all, can we go do this on Sunday? Blah blah blah. It's yes, sis, most definitely. Or she's I miss their laughter. I miss their and I told her, I was I miss their voice.
Yeah.
I was I wish if I had known, I would have saved 2 messages.
Girl.
Girl. It was 2 messages.
Yes.
Just to hear both of my parents say, my dad would call me and he would say, he never called me by my name. He would either call me Faye or Krisha. Faye is his sister. And Krisha, he could never say my name right. But he would say that. But he was this your daddy? I didn't know that was my daddy. His voice. And then with my mom, she's hey, Lucretia, this is mom. Can you call me back or can you do it? And I'm I wish I had saved
messages. That's huge. I agree. Do it. Do it.
If you get the opportunity,
do it.
Just save those messages.
Yes,
say those messages.
I agree. Yeah. And the other thing that I would recommend, we do this, I was telling Lucretia this too, on my mom's birthday and on her death anniversary. Me and my sister go If you're not a drinker, don't go drink. But we go have margaritas, or we'll go roast. Like, we go and do something to connect with each other, to talk about her. It's okay to talk about your mom. It's okay to have those memories and reflect. And if you get emotional, if you cry, if you...
It's okay.
It's okay.
It's okay.
It is okay. You need that. That means your body is telling you you need that. And so, you know, oftentimes people are like, well, I don't want to cry. I'm like, why not?
Why not?
We got to give crying a better...
Crying is cleansing.
Yes.
Made up of water.
Yes. And so
if I talk to y'all, I'm telling them.
Exactly. So I'm saying, if you can find things to do to celebrate the memory of
the life of that person.
Yes, do that to bring connection, whatever you have to do. Grief is a journey.
Yes.
So you're not going to wake up and like, oh, today, like, no, okay, bye. May 10th. No, it doesn't work like that.
Happen like that.
It's a journey. And so you can fight that journey, or you
can just ride it out.
Roll with it. And, you know, find...
Because I'll tell you, grief will win.
Every single
time. It will
time.
win. Because especially when you're like, oh, no. It'll catch you off guard. You be like... you be like, hey.
And it doesn't matter where.
It does not care.
It doesn't matter where.
It's like, I'm going to break you down right now. You be like, whoa, where'd that go?
Exactly.
Where'd that come from?
So we recommend, you know, like doing these particular things. And if you have ideas or suggestions, please put it in the comment section so we can share those as well. And we just want you to know, find a therapist. Yes. We're never going to tell you not to. We're always going to tell you to do it. Go find a therapist to help you through the process. I think beneficial.
And something we forgot to mention at the front. This is May, and what is this?
This is Mental Health
Awareness Month.
Yes, this is so. There is somebody out there just waiting for you.
Right.
This is our month to shine. So please go find you a therapist. If you need a therapist, we always tell you, you can DM us. Reach out. You can find us, and we will connect you to someone so that you can get the help and the support that you need, especially with Mother's Day coming up. We really want you to feel safe and feel okay.
Yes, most definitely feel safe.
Yeah. So we pulled off our Mother's Day special.
We did, because we didn't know how this was going to work out.
But we did it, and I'm so glad, and I'm hoping that you got something from it, and I'm hoping that if you feel alone and you feeling, you know, you're dealing with your grief and you feel by yourself, that you know that there are people out there who get it.
Yeah, we understand.
And we'll support you, and we will find you the support that you need. Yes. Thanks for spending this time with us today.
Yeah.
If you are looking for us on Instagram, you can find Dr. Dangerfield at
I am Dr. Dangerfield.
You can find me at I am Dr. Patience, and you can find us both at
I am Brown Girl Banter. I always have to remember it's the I am before that, because you know on YouTube it's just Brown Girl Banter. That's why I pause and hesitate. It is I am Brown Girl Banter on Instagram. Please go to YouTube and type us in. I'm gonna say I am Brown Girl Banter. Brown Girl Banter. And then most definitely share, like, follow, comments, follow, all of that. All of that. Thank y'all so much. Y'all take care. We'll see you soon. Bye, Brown Girl Banter.